4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
I sense them coming.
Keep your eyes peeled.
They're here.
Ready the spear!
They won't get past us.
Well, hello, everybody. What is up? It is Wednesday, 3:30 Eastern Time. You know what that means. It's your weekly dose of the Dennis and Andy Show. We are here to enlighten, to entertain, to amuse. Throw some other adjectives out there. No. This is the writer out of the two of us, guys. I asked him for just, it could have been one. Could have been one. Could have been two words. It's what he does.
It says wrong mic, Andy.
What? What do you mean wrong mic?
See what is popping up at in setting.
I'm going to have to.
Perhaps it's too far away. Nope, it's right there.
Is it the right one or no? I can't read all that shit from back here. Do you see blue snowball up there? Nope. Why do we always have these problems? Damn it, man.
It's like you didn't do a show last night or the night before.
I know. Oh, I didn't actually.
Oh.
So F you, buddy. All right, well, hold on. We'll try and fix this. I don't know what the problem is. Do that.
Dennis sounds good. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's always me.
I don't know why he would sound good.
You know why? Because Andy's got that whiny bitch of a voice, and it's up there with like your wife's kind of voice in a certain frequency that
How's that?
tune out.
How's that? Is that better? Let us know. No Kings Monday night. I couldn't go on anyhow because I was trying to get work done because Heroes Con is this week. And then on the Bros last night, we were going to do something really fun, but then Billy couldn't make it. And what we had planned, you kind of really need everybody here. So with the convention coming up and Billy coming down here and yada, 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 we decided, you know what? We'll skip it. So we'll do the really fun stuff next week. So there you go. That is why there was no show the past couple nights that I was on. And but last night, my wife got to play doctor and do a little surgery on me. Aren't you intrigued?
I am. Tell us about your surgery, your homegrown surgery.
It was right there, hard to see, on the tip of my finger. I was sanding our deck because we repainted them a few weeks back, and I got a splinter in the tip of my finger. Now, the splinter went all the way in, and you couldn't even see anything sticking out. And at first, I just thought I jabbed my finger because of the little drip of blood, like puncture. So I just band-aided it up, went back to work. And then it was later on, when it kind of got puffy and swollen, I realized, oh, there's a piece of wood in my finger. But then what happened, the little hole closed over. So I had a little piece of wood, which I thought was really tiny, underneath my skin for the past few weeks, and it was just getting annoying. So my wife's like, just ice your finger down so it's numb. Let me go get a needle and some tweezers, and I'll see what I can do. Well, after about 15 minutes, in some pain, she was able to pull out what I originally thought was this tiny little splinter but it was actually a little more than 1/4 of an inch, pushing a 1/2 inch long piece of wood that was in my finger. So I felt like the Old West. I was biting down on a leather belt. I drank a shot of some whiskey before she went in to do the dirty work on my hand. That's how you do it. That's what I've seen in movies, and that's the approach I took.
Well, she usually does have the tweezers handy for you, so the good thing is you had everything right there ready to go.
She keeps them on the nightstand. Got to have those things handy, like
That's
you
right.
said. Yeah. So it worked out well. My hand and my finger are now complete. What is Randy saying? I did have a boo-boo, and it hurt. It's nothing to make fun of.
Guys, I had a busy week this week at the movie theaters. That's right. On Wednesday, Andy and I went and saw Masters of the Universe. You can go check out our reviews up on that. On Thursday, we went and saw Scary Movie
6.
Yeah, or as they call it, Scary Movie.
You know, they actually have that one in that Dolby 4D where the seats move and stuff.
Wow, that wouldn't be one you think would be 4D. I mean, that is not Top Gun or John Wick, but hey,
no,
good for them.
Yeah.
On Friday, my niece and I went and saw Backrooms. That's right. Everybody was hyping up Backrooms. We saw that. And then Sunday, she was staying over with us, and my wife and niece and I, we all went to see Devil Wears Prada 2. For those of you who saw the first one, we had to watch the first one over because I'd only ever seen it once, like a long time ago.
What was it like being the only male in the theater?
No.
And did everybody think you were gay?
It was all pretty much half of it was guys.
Yeah, because they got drugged there.
Yeah, with their wives. Stanley Tucci nailed it. So all the movies were pretty solid in their own way. And then when I got home, guys, I wound up getting a little notification. Boom!
1 million.
1 million views. That's right, guys. I hit 1 million views on my YouTube channel. So, guys, if you are new to this and you haven't, you should be subscribing. Go check out what everybody's watching. But, yeah, pretty happy. In June, I hit 1 million views. So, pretty cool. And thank you all for always checking it out, responding, chatting. You know, it's always fun to chat with you guys. And a lot of you leave messages and stuff, you know, at the ends of the videos. And always give me suggestions and stuff, things that you want to see. So, yeah.
I go check out some of those comments that the people leave at the end of your videos.
I do, because I respond to every one of them.
I check them out too. And it's funny how many of them say, get a haircut. You look like a hippie. This is ridiculous. It's gone too far.
Yeah, but that's
cut your
all
hair.
the ones you put down.
So there's still comments.
So, guys, by the way, Randy is already popping links. Thanks, Randy is always out there. We've got Matthews in the house. JP Roca is already chatting. Maromi, I know we will be seeing you. I'll be seeing you on Saturday. You're going to be at Heroes Con. So can't wait. Hopefully everybody 10 million. That's the next one. Actually, I'll wait till we hit 2 million before I show the next one.
There you go. That's nice of you. That's very nice of you. Well, cool, guys. Well, we have a fun guest today joining the show. And
I heard all about that. Paizo lost 10, it says 10 in dollars in inventory, but resulting in a $2 million loss. That's right. Diamond kept inventory, and they were trying to sell it out the back door. And Randy, I was very sad to see that. I like Paizo as a company. We'll see if there's any remedy, but I don't think there is. I think they're kind of screwed. So they are having big layoffs right now, and they might be union busting from the sounds of it. So we'll have to wait and see.
Speaking
in 18 months.
Speaking of unions, Dark Horse's employees, we told you a few weeks ago, petitioned or whatever to start a union.
Yep.
And it got approved.
Look at that.
The stand-in CEO approved it. So apparently there's a Dark Horse union. Then I also learned a few years ago or a year ago when Image wanted to unionize, that one got approved too, because in the news thing I read, it said Dark Horse now joins the ranks of like Image Comics.
Oh,
So there you go.
there you go. Did not know that.
That's right. But we got a great guest today. This guy's worked in music, film. He's written books. His new one's out. Very cool dude. And let's bring him to the stage. Hello, Michael. How are you?
I am the epitome of cool.
You
Oh my
are.
God. I'm not as cool as I used to be.
Now, Michael,
I smell cool.
first question. What do you think of
Yeah.
Dennis's haircut?
Okay.
You've never seen Dennis till today. So
Yeah.
if you just saw this,
I
Walking
think,
towards
listen,
you.
let me tell you something. I think he looks fine. What I never do, because it shows off my, as you get old, you get it like a dual chin down here. So I always grow it like really far back here, so you don't see that. So that's the
Yes.
only thing I would say. The hair is beautiful. Grow it down to your ass.
Oh,
Let
don't
your
give
freak
him
flag
ideas.
fly.
See, I told you. I know I'm going to like Michael for a reason. Yeah. I used to have long hair. I cut it for the
Yeah.
corporate, and I'm going back so that I get my Renaissance fair look once again.
ugh,
Wait 1 second. Because
you don't need to
it's like that.
compliment him.
Because
I told him.
pretty
to do
soon,
that.
so pretty soon you'll look like this. This is,
Oh, yeah. White
this
snake.
is I mentioned. Yeah, my friend Art Burke had White Snake in the radio station. This is I got this in his will, but
Really?
they all drew on their own faces. And they said that David Coverdale looks like a. Let me see what it says. But hold on. Said David. It said I can't read it. Said David Coverdale. I mean, they said he was 40 here.
Damn.
Oh,
40.
you should
Anyway,
tell Michael.
yeah,
your,
so you'll look
wife's
like that.
White snake
Well,
story.
you guys keep growing it, and you'll look like them. So that was it.
Yeah, we
That was
do
my
love White Snake. I'm a fan of White Snake. My wife and I were listening, and we were playing the song, and she goes, "Oh, that's a one-hit wonder." I'm like, "What?" Immediately went to the second song. She goes, "Oh, that one too?" I said, "Is this a two-hit wonder?" Then the third, the fourth, the fifth. I'm like, "There's a reason why I saw them 4 times in concert." So yeah, they are not a one-hit.
I recently did see what's his name? Vander. He was the good-looking guy, the best-looking guy, Vandenberg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The guitar player that co-wrote some of the hit songs. I went and saw him recently at the neighborhood theater here in town. I had
Isn't
free
he
tickets.
the
That's
one
really
that that he sometimes moonlights with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra? Because when we saw him, it was one of the White Snake guitarists. I think it was him.
Well, I think Trans-Siberian Orchestra used to be, were they Wrathchild America or Sabotage? I can't remember. Do you remember this?
No, I love them, but no,
Okay.
I don't know any of the history of them.
Yeah, they played my club years ago.
Oh.
Whoever is Trans-Siberian Orchestra played my club under another name. I think it was
just
Oh,
probably.
look at that
Oh,
hair.
that?
See, guys? I could have been a lead singer if I had a voice. I definitely had the hair for it.
Yeah, that's at
You could have been a
Renfest.
lead singer, or if you
Yes.
shaved your face, a non-attractive woman.
Don't think so.
Yep.
Well, I've been known to wear a wig or two, either in drag or as Ian Astbury in I was in a tribute band. I put it as one of the links. I was in a tribute band called Pure Cult, the ultimate tribute to the cult, and I did
nice.
the Ian Astbury thing. But my hair wasn't white then. it's pretty white now. Yeah, but that's on one of the links. Us doing Wildflower, I think. But yeah, putting on rock and roll shows back in the day. I owned a club here in Charlotte called the 4808 Club, and I did shows, promoted shows by Danzig, Soundgarden, the Black Crowes, Corrosion of Conformity, the Bad Brains, Social Distortion, Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker from Cream, Eric Johnson, the guitar virtuoso.
Where was that?
Testament.
Where was that place located at?
Second. Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Where was it?
Originally on Central Avenue, actually. I'm saying it was originally on Central Avenue, near East, where Eastland Mall used to be, is where it started out. And one of the last shows I did there was Widespread Panic. And then we ended up getting shut down. We actually didn't get shut down, but they wouldn't renew the lease. So I bought the business because the boss, Bob Thurbin, who was owned the club, I only owned 10% of it then. He sold it to me, the corporation, for $1. And I just took some of the assets, like a couple of coolers and the stereo, the sound system, and ended up renting a warehouse from the Levines, Danny Levine Museum.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
And we kind of opened up, kind of like very illegally. And I was open for about a year, and then they came in and busted me for fire code violations during the LA Guns show, the band LA Guns. They were playing on Easter Sunday, 1990, and then I went and moved to a new location over on 5th Street. That was on 7th Street. That was where we did most of the cool shows. And that year, we were voted Best New Club and Best College Bar by Creative Loafing, which is now defunct. There are no alternative news weeklies here anymore, unless you consider QC Nerve or whatever. I don't know.
So wait, what year would that have been?
1990. 1990. I did the Black Crowes in that year in March with they opened up. Hard to Handle was on the radio, was really getting really big. We paid him $250. And then I did, then we got shut down, and then I reopened and was closed down by the infamous Guar Show of North Carolina, September 18th, 1990. And I think I showed you this before. This was the headline here. It's kind of bright. It says lead singer promoter run afoul of law, and raunchy singing act hits wrong note with police. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's dive into that story. I remember I wasn't living here, but I was in Florida. But I remember hearing about it. But my memory sucks. As Dennis.
Oh, it was one of those water. It was one of those water cooler stories. Yeah. Yeah.
What did they do?
Yeah.
That got him in trouble?
Well, when I was sitting in the police car with Dave Brocky, Odor Shurungus, he goes, "What are the charges?" And the policeman pulled a mead pad out of his pocket, his little spiral mead pads, and he goes, "You've been charged with disseminating obscenities, which is a felony in North Carolina, more specifically for simulating ejaculation with a 2.5-foot latex penis, simulating sodomy, and eating feces." And then Dave Brocky, without missing a beat, says, "You mean you can't do that in North Carolina?" Boom, shit.
So you're watching this show.
Yeah.
Right? So, from the side or wherever you're watching it from. Well, I was going to say, so you're watching the show live, obviously. I remember when they did this on stage, when they did this on stage, what was your reaction?
I wasn't there. I had my hands full, dude. I mean, I was everywhere but watching the show. And there was one scene where they had taken a crucifix. They had this costumed priest that has a big giant ass with a gaping anus hole, and they came with a giant crucifix and shoved it in this priest's ass.
Oh,
So that was that was that happened. Yeah, I didn't see it. I don't remember. I had dreams about it. I can only imagine them doing this thing, and doing, like you're digging a post.
Oh my God! What?
With the blood and the,
who called the cops? That's what I want to know. Like, who narked them out? Like, how'd the cops find them?
Well, the rumor was there was a club here in town. You may have remembered it. It was called the Pterodactyl Club.
Nope.
You remember the?
I didn't move here until 2005.
Yeah, Pterodactyl Club in 1313. That was my rival. It was a guy named Jeff Lowry. He's dead now. He died of acute alcoholism.
Oof.
But Jeff Lowry supposedly was the one that ratted out me to alcohol law enforcement, and they came and raided the club. Alcohol law enforcement was only on the next block. They were in the James K. Polk building on the next block. They didn't have to go far to come and shut me down. So,
oh wow,
yeah. So, and unbeknownst to me, Jeff Lowry was in negotiations to buy my building from out from under me, which he did. He ended up purchasing the building. So now he's dead. I win.
There you go. Wow.
Yeah, which is kind of fucked up if you think about it. Yeah.
Marcus says maybe you guys can do something like that at Heroes Con. Marcus, I don't think that's a good idea.
Sure, Marcus, you can play Jesus that's bent over.
Wow.
What? We know Marcus. He's a good cat.
But it was all done in cartoonish. It was all done in, if you've ever seen Gwar, nobody takes it seriously.
Oh yeah, I've seen him. Yeah.
Matter of fact, we were charged with felonies originally. That they dropped the felonies and they reduced it to a misdemeanor, harmful performance to minors, because Gwar in their contract insisted on us having an all ages show. I could have sued Gwar, but I did not. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't sue their agency, which is Triad Artists Agency, which later was bought by William Morris Agency. And I didn't sue anybody, and I probably should have. And I actually went and did a few more Gwar shows. I did shows in Wilmington and did shows in Virginia Beach. I still stayed in touch with the band. For some reason, I had this idea that some valiant idea that I should be, to get, that it was some First Amendment issue, and but they didn't come to my rescue. I can promise you that. I was pretty much on my own. I mean, one minute I was a new music guru, and next minute I was a fucking pornographer. So,
Well,
there it is.
Speaking of the music stuff, we're kind of going backwards. How did you get your start in doing the music stuff like that anyhow?
I don't know. I was in bands in high school, and then when I got into college, I was in college radio at WUSC-FM in Columbia. I was promotions director there, and I interviewed, and that's when I kind of cut my teeth a little bit then, because everybody was so what do you, I don't want to, star effers, they could never interview anybody because they were always so googly about, whoever it was. And I just didn't see it that way. It's kind of like I would always meet my heroes and they would be idiots. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
One of my first interviews was Paul Westerberg from the Replacements, and he was drunk sitting in Raleigh, North Carolina, in a skating rink. They had played in a skating rink. And he's sitting there with his hair in his face, with a crumpled Busch beer can, and everybody was afraid to go up and talk to him. And I just said, give me the thing. We used to carry around a cassette player with a microphone, So so I interviewed Dave Mustaine and interviewed Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead. Interviewed Corrosion of Conformity when they were like in 86 or 87. Just whoever would come. I interviewed GBH, Grievous Bodily Harm, the punk band. Just Tommy Keene, who was on Geffen. just whoever would come in, Guadalcanal Diary, a lot of that, the jangly stuff from the 80s I did. It did, interviewed a lot of those people because everybody else was just afraid to. And the thing is that, the Connells, I don't know if you remember the Connells from Raleigh, interviewed them a bunch of times. They were a lot better than a lot of people give them credit for. Very, very, had that kind of British pop sound. But anyway, yeah, college radio. And then when I got back here to Charlotte, I worked, I came back here and I was selling cars.
Okay.
I sold cars for about 3 weeks. And I got fired. They said, maybe you should just go to the Town and Country Ford. Your style might do better over there. And I said, what do you think? I want to sell cars the rest of my life like you people? So I got my jab in. I mean, what was I? I was 22, 23 years old. So I ran into my friend Bill, and his dad was looking for somebody to open to manage the bar, and he was wondering if I would be interested. And so I said, okay, cool. And I used to, when I was in college, I used to throw these huge parties called the Gods at 1800 Green Street. And I'd buy 5 kegs and we'd drink every one of them. And I mean, my house would smell like keg beer, for months, but I made money. So it was just kind of a continuation of that, promoting, and then my experience in college radio, and then all of a sudden it was just kind of a natural progression. So that's how I got into the music thing. Regarding movies, my dad, he produced the first independent movie in Charlotte that was ever made in Charlotte, and it's on Something Weird Video. It's called Night of the Cat.
Okay, hold on. I'm on a full screen.
Yeah, Night of the Cat.
Let's see.
Now that's not the original poster.
Oh,
I've got the poster. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Now this is the poster. It's actually a pretty cool poster.
Oh yeah, that's definitely 1970s.
Very, very 70s. Yeah, the poster was cooler than the movie.
What was it about?
The movie was dog shit.
What's it about?
But actually, I'll tell you what. This is an interesting story, okay? Because I know that you guys kind of talk about a bunch of pop culture stuff. Night of the Cat was the only place that you could find it was on Something Weird Video. I just showed you this, right? Now, I originally got this from a guy named Mike Vraney. You ever heard of him? Mike Vraney.
Nope.
He owned Something Weird Video, and they were in Seattle. But he was a big collector. He was a big collector. Sold a lot of comics and baseball cards. He was big on the scene for a long time. So I back in the days when Dad died, we never had a copy. We didn't have a copy of the film. So when he died, I would check. Back in the days when Google was like something new, you're checking Google to. I just put in Night of the Cat, schlock, movie, whatever, sexploitation, whatever. And finally, I got a hit about 1999. Okay, because Dad died in 1996, and I was administrating his estate, so I was trying to list all the things that he owned, and I said, well, fuck, he owns that movie. So I never could find a copy of it to actually make a claim to it. So I called this guy, Mike Vraney. I said, that's my dad's movie. He had the only copy of the movie that he had transferred to digital, to a digital file, and then they would just burn the discs, the DVDs. Okay.
Yeah.
DVDs nuts. So Mike Vraney, I called and threatened him. We ended up becoming friends. The weird thing is when you call people and threaten them a little bit, and then you say, well, wait a minute, you find common ground, and then all of a sudden you're friends with somebody. And he's sent me a bunch of copies of the film, and I went and passed them around to like VizArt Video here in town might still have it. Yeah. So anyway, so Mike dies of cancer, and his wife takes over. Now, she's a comic. You may know her. What is her name? Hold on one second. You may know her, man. She's an artist. She's brilliant. Hold on. I'm forgetting her name. I'm having a brain fart. Hold on. Anyway, something weird video. So I make friends with his wife, and just this, I guess 2 years ago, it was the 50th anniversary of the movie's release, and we had a screening at the Independent here in town. Yeah, and we sold out. We sold it out, which was pretty cool. So there was like 120 people came, which was good. And I had Worth Keeter as a guest. My mom, who's in the movie, and I had Worth Keeter, who used to work for Earl Owensby. Have you heard of? You know what Earl Owensby is? Earl Owensby Studios was where they filmed The Abyss. Where they headquartered out of. They also headquartered Firestarter, if you remember Firestarter with Drew Barrymore.
Yep.
And David Keith, not Keith David. Right. Not Childs, but the white guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Worth used to direct. He directed his first films at Earl Owensby, and so he's kind of a film historian. He moved out to L.A. and he filmed over 150 Power Rangers episodes. He directed 150 Power Rangers episodes, and then when Haim Saban lost the rights to, or he sold the rights to Disney to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, he created Beetleborgs. You remember the Beetleborgs? Anyway, but he was my guest to speak about the, what was going on at the time and that sort of thing. And so it was fun. Yeah. Hold on. I guess I could do it right here.
What is Night of the Cat about?
That? I just don't. I just think that I might lose you guys. Something weird. I hate that I'm like forgetting her name. First name, Mike Vraney. Anyway, back to Mike Vraney though. He actually started talking about music. He started Alternative Tentacles Records, which was the Dead Kennedys. The Dead Kennedys were on Alternative Tentacles, and Jodie Foster's Army and Bad Brains, etc. A lot of that stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, wife. Well, anyway, she's an artist. I'll figure it out here. Wife, Vraney wife. Yeah, Lisa Petrucci. You ever heard of her?
No.
She does some cons. Lisa Petrucci is her name. Yeah, but she does that cutesy little goth stuff. Lisa Petrucci.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
anyway, cool. So where are we? Yeah, so that's how I got into the music thing.
What is Night of the Cat about? What's the movie? What's that movie about?
The premise.
Night of the Cat is kind of like Taken. Okay, it's about like the instead of being in Europe where they steal the pretty girl and sell her into prostitution, it's a girl that gets sold into prostitution, and she's they give her drugs, etc., to keep her there, and she tries to escape, and she gets murdered, and her sister becomes the cat, and she's a karate lady that wears a wig and then goes and takes on the mob. And originally the film had an X rating, but then they ended up squeezing an R rating out of it. So my dad ended up, there was a guy who was making the movie. I wrote a piece on famous monsters of filmland called Night of the Cat, the Southern Exploitation Disease, I think is what it's called. And it was this guy named Norman Williams was a little Woody Allen looking, skinny, big elbowed, kind of like losing his hair with the horn rimmed glasses. and came and conned everybody who's a big shot from Hollywood, and ended up getting a bunch of investors here in Charlotte to make this movie. And then when he went around town and writing fraudulent checks to everybody, and used the let's see what police. I think Belmont used the Belmont police force cars in a chase scene, and some of them got wrecked, and they ended up having this guy arrested. He got arrested, and my dad went and got him out of jail. And my dad had just won. My dad was in the nightclub business. He had a club here called the Sabone Club, and his featured entertainer was Morgana. You know, the kissing bandit, Morgana. You know, Morgana used to run out and kiss Pete Rose or whoever was on it. Yeah. So, so Dad had just won his Supreme Court case, and kind of had he kind of had got his groove back, I guess, regarding adult entertainment and alcohol sales. So my dad he was going to open another club over in Oakhurst. It'd be Sabone number 2. Yeah. And around the same time, he got this guy Norman Williams out of jail, and he went and put in some money himself and got some investors. Got another guy named Garland Atkins to invest, who actually is one of the stars of the movie. And Garland had his family owned the Charlotte News and the Gaston Gazette and all these. This is 70s shit, dude. So anyway, make a long story short, that's how Dad made Night of the Cat, and it was a miserable failure. And I ended up finding it years later on Something Weird video. So that's the story. So there it is. That's my long-winded ending to the saga, the Night of the Cat saga. So we did have the 50th anniversary a couple of years, 2 years ago, 3 Decembers ago, I think.
Wow.
And so that's kind of how I got, I guess, my dad, I got pictures of my dad with Telly Savalas and Jim Backus, it was Mr. Magoo. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have them here. Hell, I got pictures of my mom and dad eating dinner with King Saud of Saudi Arabia. I got those.
Holy shit.
My parents were colorful people. That right there, that might get me killed. That's Dad, and that's Mom. See, he wanted to marry Mom, and then that's King Saud right there.
What year is that?
This is 1965, year I was born.
Oh, wow.
See, there he is talking to Mom, and if you look on there, you look how big his feet are. That guy probably had a hog leg, the king. He's got like a size 12, 13 foot. Anyway, yeah. That happened.
Wow.
Yeah, my Uncle John has met every president since at the White House since Harry Truman.
Damn.
You to pull that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, man. We've been rubbing elbows. Just none of it rubbed off on. None of the riches rubbed off. Well, Anyway,
so how did that translate into you starting to write a book?
Well, I wrote my first book. That's me and Dave Brocky there, Odors Urungus, in 2010. I wrote my first book, which was Kill the Music. It's right now out of print, but I'm adding 10 chapters to it. I think I sent you a picture of that cover. Did I or didn't I? I can't remember. But anyway, did you send it, Justin? Okay. That was an interesting. What's that?
I was going to say, so you're going to
just keep on going?
No, you're going to have it back. You're going to get it back in print with, you said 10 more chapters?
Yeah, I'm going to add 10 chapters to it, and it's going to come. We're going to do 10 additional chapters to the book.
Wow.
So it's going to be a new edition. And, I originally, in the fledgling days of self-publishing, when nobody did self-publishing, I did that. It's just, the whole ideal behind self-publishing is to avoid the gatekeepers. And right. You know that. Oh, yeah. Andy. I mean, that's why you're doing your own stuff now. You know, I mean, you're going to go and sell your wares to some assholes. You know, I mean, I used to get, you know, I told you about Mark Irwin. Mark Irwin was helping us for a while because he was moving around. You're talking about comic guys. He was bouncing around, and Lee and I, Lee Cozy, he's right now working. He's doing a bunch of stuff for Lucasfilm right now. But Lee and I mean, you know, we had people that were interested. Maybe I just didn't have the story fleshed out. That's what we're trying to do now, you know, with the movie. Yeah. You know, oh yeah, here's the book. Yeah, it's behind me. Yeah.
There you go.
Lee did this art.
So let's talk about the story behind the book and what it is and stuff.
I'll tell you what it is and what it isn't. Originally, I was under contract with Morgan Creek Productions, and now Morgan Creek Entertainment, to develop or to rebrand Nightbreed, which was Clive Barker's film, the first film that he did after the release of Hellraiser. And Clive had made Hellraiser for under $1 million. And Morgan Creek gave him $17 million.
That first Hellraiser movie was produced for less than $1 million bucks.
Less than $1 million. They did some reshoots, etc. I think it was, well, and you know, and the thing is that was made at the UK at Pinewood Studios, I think, and because they did use Pinewood Studios again for Nightbreed, but Clive had never had that kind of money. I mean, he went from I'm sorry. He went from you know, and we're talking about, well, I'm saying under $1 million. I think it was like 790,000 pounds, I think, is what the film costs. And then they went back. I think they did some reshoots, etc. And I think it ended up costing about $1 million bucks. And I think it made $52 million in the theater, which was big money back then. So, David Robinson, who's my associate, his dad, James Robinson, and he had big hits at that time. He did Robin Hood's Prince of Thieves, was one big hit. He had Last of the Mohicans, which was big, and then the Young Guns. He had Young Guns. You know, they're doing all that stuff. Ace Ventura later on in the '90s. But I mean, they were big time, and so they were throwing money at Clive because he made all this money with Hellraiser, and so Clive is making this movie with all these wild, weird sets and creepy characters and whatever, and so Morgan Creek and the distributor at the time was Fox, and they get it and they go, "What the fuck is this? We don't know what we're looking at." So they went back and did a bunch of reshoots and they ended up making it more of a kind of a slasher film, you know, where the character Dr. Decker is played by the director. What's his name? I'll remember his name in a minute. David Cronenberg.
Oh, okay.
And Aaron Boone. Yeah, David Cronenberg. He's the bad guy. They're trying to pin all these murders on Aaron Boone, who is played by Craig Sheffer. And anyway, make a long story short, the movie didn't do well in the theater, but it got a cult following and did very, very well in VHS. But now what happens, what's weird is, well, Blockbuster, you know, there's a Blockbuster on every corner. It was a huge hit on VHS. And anyway, I was so I got involved in this project, and I remember going to see that movie in the theater in like 1990. Okay, so what they wanted to do was they wanted to make a Nightbreed TV series, and I saw some early I guess just treatments, I guess you would call them. So they weren't even really scripts. They were just some ideas that that a guy named Matt Venn, who was teaching at University of Southern California, he had supposedly got together with Clive, and they put down some notes and whatever. And then they sent it to me. He said, "What do you think about this?" And so I kind of looked at it, and I said, "Well, change this, change that, do this, do that, blah blah blah." And then I said, "Why don't you let me write this? I mean, you got to sign me on as a creative consultant. Let me write it."
Sure.
And so they said, "All right, well, pick out some of the characters." And then make up your own characters and do it that way. So I said, okay, cool. So I did that, and then they didn't like it. They didn't like it. But I said, well, why am I going to just write the feature script? I said, I wrote 6 scripts.
Right.
And at the time I was on prednisone. My head was like as big as a basketball.
Oh no.
Yeah, so the prednisone, man, is like you're gonna go to the moon, man. You can do anything on prednisone. So so I wrote 6 episodes, and then it got tabled, and then my contract ran, and there was I'm not going to say the names, but there was a guy that was worked for Clive at the time, who would take a lot of my ideas and then go make his own. And, you know, I'd tell him why don't we do this? And then he'd do something almost the same thing, but something else.
Oh, wow.
And he's no longer working at Clive's, but he had done some stuff for Boom and back to comics.
Yeah.
And he brought in another guy named Josh Stolberg, who did Piranha 3 Double D, I think. But Josh Stolberg, yeah, hold on. Anyway, so they brought in Josh Stolberg, and then they shit canned him. And meanwhile, I've got, you know, all of this material that I worked really hard on, and I said, well, fuck it, man, I'll write all Clive's characters out. And since I wrote all these new cool characters, that became Nocturnity, Nightbreed, Nocturnity.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So, and the more I wrote, the more the dimensions changed. The more it was less Clive Barker and more me.
Sure.
But there's still some nods to Clive. Matter of fact, I mentioned Neil Gaiman. We talked about Neil Gaiman when we were off air, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, about Sandman. But I originally had a Neil Gaiman quote in the beginning of the book because I didn't want to do a Clive Barker quote because I didn't want to. Well, why am I always got a coattail on this guy? You know,
right.
So let me use somebody different. So I put a Neil Gaiman quote in there, and then he gets hit with the Me Too rapist thing.
Yep.
And then I'm going, all right, I'll just put a Clive Barker quote. So I'll put another Clive Barker quote in the book. Matter of fact, the quote is, dreams are doorways if we but have the courage to step over the threshold.
Oh,
so that's the quote. But anyway, yeah, so the story, was originally going to be, about Aaron Boone, the main character in Nightbreed, has a son, etc. And so I had to, I'm starting out with this kid, a teenager. A teenager living in a dull town and working as a grocery store clerk. And he doesn't have many friends. He kind of keeps to himself. He's treated like an outsider because it's a really closed-minded little town. And he's got kind of like a friend girl in the preacher Matthias, his daughter Becca. And he works at the grocery store. The town is dying because they had a mirror factory there and it's closed and moved to Mexico. So then it explores. He has these dreams of this place called Nocturnia where humans come in and they're in these they're in these halo type, suits, and they exosuits, and they come through a portal, and they're killing all of these monsters that live there. And they had created a society away from men in another dimension. And that's kind of the premise is he keeps waking, he wakes up. He keeps having these recurring dreams, and he can't sleep. He can't go back to sleep. And then it slowly becomes evident to him that his dreams are actually real, that they did take place. It's kind of a where memory is passed down on a genetic level. He's reliving the experience that his mom and dad had, and it's kind of giving him insight into a world that he doesn't really know anything about, and it's peppered throughout the first 100 pages of the book that he continues to have these nightmares, etc., until he discovers that his nightmares were based in reality, and some of these characters from the book, or actually all the characters, not the book, some of the characters from the dreams are actually in this world, in this dimension. So that's kind of what it was, and how it became very different from Nightbreed, and just became my own thing.
And it's available on Amazon right here.
Oh, wow. There it is.
Yep. Yeah. If you guys have the Kindle Unlimited,
more people need to review it.
What's that?
I need more reviews. I need more reviews.
So, guys, go review it. You can, if you got Kindle Unlimited, you can read it right now. You can buy it for $2.99, or you can get a paperback if you're still old school, like a lot of us are. You want your paperback, you can still get your paperback and have it shipped. Free shipping from Amazon. Look at that.
Oh, you got to be a Prime member.
Yeah.
Don't forget to say that. You don't want to be saying free shipping for everybody. You got to be Prime.
Or over $35.
Or spend more than $35. So buy the book and then buy me something for $15, and that'll get you over $35, and you'll get free shipping. And I'll get a gift.
Well, and Andy, you may be working with us very soon, doing some concept art for us, because we're making a movie.
That's right.
And I don't know that I'm ready to. I don't know if I'm ready to talk too much about it, but that's going to be a whole, another ball of wax. I set $22,000 into SAG to be able to talk to SAG actors, but what I think we're going to do, we're going to go in a different direction, just due to some of the budgetary constraints, and there are so many different new tools for us to work with to be able to create stuff on a grand scale without having to look cheap. So I'm not gonna talk about it too much, but maybe if I'm back on with you guys, then we'll talk about it, because we're working on the movie right now. We're creating a trailer, and actually the thing is the new direction that we're taking. We are. We can do, like I said, we only raised about $100,000, and we were going to try to use, make a trailer, shoot about 25 minutes of the movie, and then cobble a trailer together and then create more enthusiasm that way. But I think that the avenue we're taking now is we're not going to spend nearly as much money and be able to get more bang for our buck. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah.
Nice.
I noticed that there was a muscly movie going on, an AI movie. What was that in the beginning?
Oh, that is our characters, Cordrath and Adriana. I just, uploaded a couple versions of them and described what I wanted. And then I wish it was as simple because that thing, 30 seconds. I don't even know how long it is. 10 seconds. I don't know. But I had to do it a few times. And then I took some video editing software and I actually edited the cuts together because it didn't pop out that way. I edited it together, moving the camera
Right.
and such. So, yeah, no, that's our character, Cordrath. And
and you gotta pay for the credits. And you gotta pay for the credits.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yep. And that kind of goes
speaking
into
of movies.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying,
Speaking
go
of
ahead. What?
movies, I'm saying the Hulk will be appearing in the new Spider-Man movie as
I know.
He's going to be back to Savage Hulk, I hear. Have you heard
I
that?
hope so, because I tell you what, just visually, since we're going on a tangent with this, my daughter and I watched the first Avengers movie from 14 years ago now, last weekend, and the Hulk looked so much better in those first, because then we watched Age of Ultron after and stuff, and he just looked so much better, so much bigger, and just massive. And then in like the last one, Endgame, when he's Smart Hulk, he's not nearly as big. It just didn't even hit me until seeing the Avengers again that I haven't seen in years. And I'm like, why? Make him big and savage. Good Lord. So.
Yeah.
Well, now what they said was, and this is like a common theme, even in the Universal Pictures Hulks, the one with Eric Bana and then Ed Norton, that the angrier the Hulk gets, the larger he gets. And so that is what supposedly is going to happen in the new Spider-Man, He's a menace.
Let's hope so. It's funny you said that because my niece and I, she was over for the weekend and she wanted to start watching the Marvel movies from chronological order. So we actually looked them up and we started watching, watched Captain America, first Avenger. We worked our way up. And the last one we had time to watch was actually the Avengers. And I got done and we were both like, wow, look at how good this movie is compared to the new ones. And I'm like, it is night and day difference. You know what? They were so much better, in that phase 1 and phase 2 stuff. Yeah. Just so much better than the stuff they're putting out now. Period.
People kind of malign Age of Ultron, but I mean, I like it. I like watching it just to hear James Spader speak.
Oh yeah. James Spader.
Go over the line.
I like the Age of Ultron. But no, you're 100%. James Spader, besides the fact when he's on screen and, in real life, whatever, he just steals scenes because he's so good. Who would have thought?
Oh, no, he steals every scene. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, that's it.
And then Robert Downey Jr., I mean, they go all the way back.
Oh, yeah, I know.
They go back to less than zero. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
It's just kind of funny to have lived through, the 80s when all of that, when all of those movies were coming out, all of the Less Than Zero and what was it? Bright Lights, Big City, all of those Bret Easton Ellis books, and now these guys are the superheroes. These guys are the superheroes, supervillains. I think that's
I know. It's good. It's really good.
And I did show this. I didn't show this on, because they say that Jared Leto does a fantastic job as Skeletor. They said that it's really over the
He does a fantastic
Him
job.
and I've got my He-Man.
That's right.
My He-Man with no penis.
Yeah, no, Jared Leto, whatever.
Yeah, so you've seen it.
And he did. Kudos to him, because when you see the movie, you have no idea it's him. You can't, it's not his voice. I mean, it's his voice, but manipulated. It's obviously not, he's wearing a suit and his face is CGI. And so it really does come down to him taking a back seat to the role, because you have no idea it's him. None at all. And he really did. I mean, he did. He did a fantastic job.
Right. But he's still got. But he's still got to sell it. He's still got to sell it. And I understand that he did. Right.
Oh, he sold it great.
Yep.
Skeletor's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, but they slowed the voice down and all that.
Yeah. No,
So,
he
which
did
is
a fantastic
cool because,
job.
because everybody was saying it's going to be it's Morbin time, kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
It's
Well,
Morbin
guys,
time.
we're gonna start wrapping it up because we're hitting on to an hour, and our buddy show starts at 5 o'clock. Here's the screen for Michael's book, Nocturnity. Get it on Amazon now.
Cool.
The link is in the description below, so you can go get it. And if you want, get it on Kindle.
Yeah, if you're on Rumble or YouTube, all the links are down below. If you are on X, in the description, in the chat and stuff, our awesome moderators always pop everything in there. So it will be right there for you guys to click on and go check out Nocturnity.
And of course, you want to go check out Lilineth Infernal Conflict. That is the campaign Dennis and I have going right now. I am wrapping up page 37. God, we were getting so close to the finish line. If you have not backed Lilineth Infernal Conflict, where she goes back to her home in the abyss after the events of Kordrath, the Awakening, and we learn more about her origin story. It's basically a prequel. It's a one-shot. You never had to read Kordrath before this. If you did, it's icing on the cake. If you didn't, we've got a catch-up tier, so you can go get the first 2 Kordrath books along with Lilineth Infernal Conflict. Check it out, guys. Many cover options. The collector's box, variant cover by our pal John Malin. Lots of good stuff. We got preview pages up you guys can look at, of course. And I believe there's 2 copies, two copies left of the retro edition, printed on newsprint, flat color, stapled, signed and numbered, limited to 100 copies. So go get that and don't miss out. There you go. Catch up tier. 2-inch, 5-inch minifigures, lots of stuff. The link is in the description below for this and the Kickstarter campaign where you can get Billy Tucci's cover. Let's see. We've got that right here. Get yourself the Billy Tucci cover.
Exclusive to Kickstarter.
Exclusive with great Dan Lawless colors.
That's hot.
And, thank you. And go check it out, guys. You will not be disappointed in Lilineth Infernal Conflict. Finishing up page 37. We're getting there, guys. So there you go. Check that out. And we will be back next Wednesday at 3:30. And we're catching Disclosure Day on Monday, since we can't go see a movie this week because of Heroes Con.
That's right.
So if you're in Charlotte, come on out. Even if you're not, make a drive from Georgia, South Carolina, and come to Heroes Con.
Hey, Andy, I think I'm going to come Friday, and I think I'm going to give out 5 books. I'm going to give 5 books out, 5 signed books. I'm going to, you know what? Yeah, cool.
There you go.
Leave them at your table, and you can just give them whatever you want. You can promote your thing, and then promote my thing. So that
sounds like a plan.
All right. Hey, are we done?
We'll do that. All right, guys.
That wasn't bad. Did we have fun?
We had a great time.
Fun, the best thing to have.
It's always fun on the Dennis and Andy show. Now go check out
All right, peace.
Graybeards at 5 o'clock with Aaron Lepresti, Dan Lawless, and the great David Williams and Gary Martin. And we'll catch you guys next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Live long and prosper.
Yeah. God, I hate your